A few years ago, I posted a video about my morning devotional routine. It was a routine that took almost an hour every morning, reading my Bible, praying, and journaling. And I'm thankful for that routine because it helped me know the Bible and know God better in that season of my life. But when I became a mom, everything changed. I no longer had time to do my devotions the way I always had. I didn't have a lot of time to spend alone with God, and I often had to choose between washing the dishes piled up in our sink or closing my eyes to pray. And at first, I had a ton of anxiety and guilt about that. I felt anxious that I wasn't pleasing God anymore, that maybe I was losing my faith. I felt guilty that I really wanted to wash those dishes instead of getting alone to pray because I cannot stand living in a messy home. But ever so slowly, I started to accept the season I was in and realized that a relationship with God changes with the seasons. A relationship with God is a lot like marriage in that it looks different in different seasons of life. Before we had kids, James and I spent a lot of time alone together. We weren't in school, we worked normal hour jobs, and we had lots of time to be together, focused on each other. Once we had kids, though, that changed. And each time I'd start to apologize for being so distracted with the baby, James would say, "Sweetie, it's a season. It's okay. We're in this together." And I started to realize that's what God was saying to me too. It's okay. It's a season. We're in this together. James and I started scheduling in dates where we could focus on only each other. And those dates were extra special because they were so rare. We had so much to talk about. And similarly, we started finding times to get away with God by ourselves, but it wasn't every day anymore, at least not for me. Surprisingly, those once-a-week times alone with God were not the main place God met me, though. God met me in the ordinary, everyday moments, when I was changing a poopy diaper or washing that pile of dishes in the sink or holding a crying baby. There was nothing super profound about those moments. I'd always approached my devotions with the idea that if nothing profound happened, I hadn't really spent quality time with God. But why did I put all that pressure on myself? Now, instead of looking for profound insights constantly, I just know that He's with me. He's close by. We're in this together. Now, with a toddler running loose and another baby on the way, I don't read my Bible every day. I try to read at least a little portion as many mornings as I can because it helps me feel connected with God. But my relationship with God is much more like a relationship. Shocking, I know. It's less about what I do and more about being together. More about an awareness of God's presence in every ordinary but holy moment around me. My devotional routine, on the days when it happens, looks like me reading my Bible and praying for about 10 minutes, either while snuggling Natalie as she watches a show, or between her interruptions at 30-second intervals while she plays. Or it could look like a peaceful, quiet awareness of His nearness as I clean. Or it could look like a quick thank you to God for His help as I fall asleep for a nap while Natalie naps. And I don't feel guilty or anxious about that anymore. Instead, I feel at rest. I feel free. Free from my old, anxiety-ridden, perfectionism-driven expectations of what my quiet time had to look like. Free to experience God in a new way, entering into the rest that comes with a relationship with Him. I'm thankful for the spiritual disciplines I had in my 20s. They made a real difference in my life, and I 100% recommend them. But I don't recommend the guilt, the anxiety, or the legalism of thinking my quiet time has to look this way every day in order to make God happy. No, God wants a relationship with you. You're in this together. That's what makes Him happy.